that was basically when my spiritual awakening actually happened. What I had learned there was so profound. Like I just sat there one day and I thought to myself, like, why didn't why didn't we learn this in schools?
Yes.
Like seriously, why did we not learn this in school? Like I wish I learned this before. I was probably like 27 or something at the time, but I mean, I at that time, like whatever and it was not just like a talk that he had. He actually taught us like prankriyas, like this breathing
Yeah,
techniques
yeah, yeah.
and healing. It was all about self healing, and that really just like opened me up. It put me on like another level, and I felt so free and
Right.
light after that, but I still had this nagging feeling that I needed to teach someone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Zen and Now, where we deep dive into all things wellness, mental health, and a healthy living and a balanced life. Today, we have a truly inspiring guest with us. Somebody who's a spiritual coach, certified Reiki practitioner, with a passion for empowering women to connect with their inner selves, health, and step into their highest potential. Through her work, she helps women realize emotional blockages, align their energy, and live with a greater purpose and clarity. Please help me welcome Amisha Natha to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kishan, for that introduction. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to our chat.
No worries. So let's begin. I think we've known each other for what, almost 27 years now, give or take.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think we were in primary school together, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken. Yeah, yeah.
correct.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, like I've said, we've known each other for quite a bit, and it's good to connect again.
Yeah, it's like I was just thinking about it. It's weird how how life brings you those people that you've never seen for how many years, and in such different ways. It's like I had a friend also in primary school. I don't know if you remember her, Nirali. She moved to the States like
Okay.
very young. But anyway, we were like close friends, and I mean, when I moved over here, we found we had mutual family that we know, and so we had a common common family that we kind of knew, and there was a wedding happening, and she so happened to attend the same wedding, and that's how we met, and we were like, wow, this is like amazing, and yeah, you just don't realize how life can unfold, and it's like we would never think, okay, we'll talk to each other like this one day.
Yeah, yeah. I never
Yeah,
thought of like having something like this on my as a as a hobby or something I do on the side, and just to reconnect with people that I've known throughout my life. It's such a blessing. Like we get to reconnect and then just
right.
talk about life and whatever is happening, because a lot has happened, and I think
Hmm.
it's we've also got stories to tell, and it's good to share. Like probably help somebody out there, whoever's
Oh yeah.
going through something. And I reached out because I saw like you're doing good work with your Reiki, and I'm into that space now, and just to understand like how what challenges you have, and what's your main drive and all of those things. So I think my reason for connecting was to actually just reconnect, and also just find out how you're doing and where you are with your practice.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, since I moved, I've seen a few clients since I moved, but really, I think in the past year, I would say I have not really taken on major clients, because it's just because life is so busy. I have a 5-year-old son, so he keeps me so busy, and we have so many things going on, and so yeah, I have not seen much of clients lately, but yeah, definitely going to get back into that. But yeah, it's been moving, and I'm sure is it's a lot. It takes a lot. Um,
Mhm.
it's a lot of change that happens, and it's a lot of adjusting that we need to do, and and I'm very easily adaptable. So for me, it was not to say that it wasn't difficult, but I think I coped better, and also with having this Reiki by my side, it's really helped me to deal with difficulties or challenges much more easily.
Right.
So yeah, it's been a good change though, definitely. But you miss home, you miss you
Right.
miss
Yeah.
being around the people that your comfort zone, and the food and the places to go, and your family, friends. But that's the only thing about, like, over here in the United States, everything is so far away and isolated that
Hmm.
it's so difficult to get people together,
Right.
to even go out for whatever reason, so. But yeah, it's for the most part, I'm enjoying it so far. It's a good move. And yeah, adjusted to everything. The only thing is, it's what I did find challenging is finding clients initially.
Right.
You're in a different place, you're in a different. You usually, like in South Africa, it's just you used to working mostly with the Indian community, um, and yeah, so it was definitely a big change over here, learning how the people are over here,
Right.
what they used to, and how they live. And um, over here is also, it's a very very fast paced life. It's just people are just busy on the go. But yeah, it's for the most part, it's since COVID though, it's everything's moved on online, which, yeah, which also kind of changed my approach to my coaching and my Reiki. So basically, everything of mine is moved online as well. I really love doing the one-on-one connection with clients. So I still keep that option open, apart from the group coaching or
Mhm.
workshops and things. But yeah, it's I find that though, with the online coaching, you can reach a more broader
Right.
audience. So you're not just stuck to your area where you live in. But yeah, for the most part, it's so far it's been good.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. And where did the interest spark, like, for to actually get into this practice? Where did it originate?
So for me, I think it was back in like 2013. I was always spiritually inclined. Anything spiritual would, like, just I'd be drawn to it. So yeah, I think in like 2013 I did a Reiki course, because I was just really curious about it. I had seen a lot of people do Reiki, and I've heard a lot about it and its benefits and things. But I then decided, I researched about it, and I decided to do a course in it. And the year after that, in 2014, I had like, I would say, like a calling. Like, I just had this nagging knowing, or this like thought that kept coming into my visions and coming into my thoughts, that I needed to teach something. you
Right.
know at night, I used to sometimes, even, like, when it's time to go to bed, I would, like, when I'm closing my eyes, I would see this vision, like, of me standing in front of an audience and, like, teaching something. And I don't know what I'm teaching, but I know I'm teaching something. And that was like, initially I just brushed it off and thought, oh, whatever, maybe my mind is playing tricks on me or whatever. But
Yeah.
after that, it became so prominent, like, it became really prominent, and the message was so clear that I had then decided, okay, I cannot, there's something in this. Maybe this is my message for, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing, my
Yeah.
purpose, path that I should be following. And I I then, I mean, months went by or weeks went by or whatever it was. And I then was, I think it was my mother that had this book on Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And I just happened to read that book. I came across it and I read about it, and it was so interesting. Like, everything about that book was just like, every word, I was like hooked to it. And also in that year, just after that, I had attended a seminar with my guru from India. He came to actually South Africa, and I attended the course, actually the seminar, with my mom. And I didn't know much about him, or what it was all about. But like I said, I was spiritually inclined, so I went
Yeah.
for it. And what I had, that was basically when my spiritual awakening actually happened. What I had learned there was so profound. Like I just sat there one day and I thought to myself, like, why didn't we learn this in schools?
Yes.
You know, like seriously, why did we not learn this in school? Like I wish I learned this before. I was probably like 27 or something at the time, but I mean, I at that time, like whatever and it was not just like a talk that he had. He actually taught us like pran kriyas, like this breathing
Yeah,
techniques,
yeah, yeah.
and healing. It was all about self healing, and that really just like opened me up. It like put me on like another level, and I felt so free and
Right.
light after that, but I still had this nagging feeling that I needed to teach something. I was satisfied with what he taught me, the self healing and everything. But it wasn't enough. Like, what do I teach these people that I'm wanting to teach? And one day, then you get those magazines, those local magazines where they put ads and stuff, and I came across this Louise Hayes. It was like a 2-day workshop thing, and it was based on that book that I had read of the Louise Hayes. And I was so drawn to it. I was like, okay, I'm going to go for this. It's a workshop that I'm going to be attending. So let me see what it's about. And I attended it. And that was just like, that was it for me. I decided then that this is because I had that experience. I went through that experience. So I know what it's like,
Yeah.
if I had to do that for other people. Um, and I knew it immediately that this is what I'm going to be teaching. I did the course then. On the workshop facilitation training, and there was a coaching course as well offered like a year or two later, and I went for that as well. And yeah, that was really also eye-opening because in the workshop itself, you doing whatever it is that you're learning, and whatever it is that you're doing is right there and then, so you're
Right.
experiencing it
There.
in that moment, um, and whatever it was, like, it's anger, fear, guilt, whatever it is that you're feeling is, you're letting those emotions out, and there's also a space for you to, um, how to react when
Yeah.
those situations
Yeah.
come about.
Right.
So that was, yeah, definitely a profound thing for me. And then obviously with the coaching goes much more deeper and in depth into the whole healing process. And so yeah, at that time I did the course, the spiritual coaching, and during that time I had a business of I had a beauty salon because I did after school I pursued a career in aesthetics,
Right.
beauty aesthetics. So at that time, so I had my business, my beauty business, and I had clients already, and it was, I realized then that I work well with people. That's what made me realize I work well with people, because most of your clients, you build a relationship with them over the years, and your regular clients, you build a relationship with them. And I also kind of noticed that I was very intuitive towards
Yeah.
certain clients' feelings and and the emotions. So definitely the Reiki and the coaching was something meant for me,
Like a
that
calling.
yeah, like a calling, that I was, it's something I'm meant to do. So yeah, I that's how my whole coaching career started. I then stopped doing the beauty because this was more my passion
Right.
and calling. And um, yeah, it's really just helped with, at the time as well, before I moved to the States, is when I closed my beauty business. So while I was doing the beauty as well, I had seen some clients on weekends or after hours for Reiki or coaching, and that's how it basically started off.
Right.
um, so yeah.
Wow. A lot of people are actually now finding their calling, and it's awesome to hear that you actually did find um, that Reiki is your calling, and to help people. I think is uh, I think it's just a, like how we say, prasad for us.
Oh yes. Yeah,
It's just an
it's seva.
offering.
It's
Yes.
yes. And that's one of the things we learned in with my guru, is that um, always do seva, always, help others in whichever way you can. So, so yeah, I'm very lucky. I always tell myself that I'm very lucky that I had that opportunity to find my calling
Yeah.
early in my life, and to actually take action upon it, and follow my
You
intuition or my
right.
gut to do it. Um, so yeah.
Your guru, how influential has he been until has he been, in your practice from the beginning up until now? Do you still follow his practices, or
Oh
is it
yes.
something that you just have, in the background?
Yeah. So I mean, I initially, when I attended his seminars and things, there's a whole lot of um, spiritual practices that he, asks you to do at home, obviously for your spiritual benefit.
Right.
Whether you do it or not is your choice, but I continued with whatever it was. It was more meditations, like a lot of meditation, and a lot of the breathing exercises, which I did, up to a certain time. And when this calling for my coaching and that started, I did follow it, but it wasn't like an everyday thing,
Hmm.
you know. So what I definitely, whatever I've learned from him though, is I carry it through, where throughout my life. It's in whatever I do. It's always there within me. It's engraved
Right.
in me, like
Right.
but it's just that sometimes time, you don't have that, what if 1 whole hour to sit and do a meditation sometimes, or 30 minutes or whatever it is. And yes, I'd love to have that time to do it, but sometimes when I do remember, or when I not remember, so when I do have the time, or when I just have that urge to, like, okay, today I really want to do this, then I sit and do the meditation or the breathing exercises, or there's a book that we have to read and stuff. So on those days, I follow my intuition. So I do it on those days because there's a reason why my intuition is calling for it.
Right.
Um, and definitely his teachings, I always incorporate his teachings into my own life and into my clients, or into my coaching and into my Reiki. It's not that I've forgotten it and don't ever do it. He's still a part. I mean, once a person is your guru, he's your guru for life.
Okay.
Whether you practice it or not, he's still your guru. So it's just up to the individual or you to keep that connection,
Alive. Yeah.
between you and your guru going. So in that sense, doing your meditation, or sometimes, if I don't have the time to do the meditation, I just simply just close my eyes and I
Yeah.
think of him, and the connection already builds there by just
Right.
thinking of your guru. And same with Reiki. Sometimes if you don't have, because Reiki involves some prior
Energies. Yeah.
rituals, or I won't say rituals, but it's just prior things you need to do before your clients come in, or for yourself, and
Yeah. Yeah. Just
sometimes
to
those things
center
can be,
yourself out.
yes, sometimes those things can be time consuming. So I just simply just close my eyes and I think of it. I just think of Reiki, or think of the intention that I want to bring in that moment, and it's there. I can feel it flowing in my hands already. So
Yeah.
so um, so yeah, it's really up to the individual. So it's what I'm being called to do, and I follow that. So yeah, I definitely I won't say I do it every day and I'm like holy and this and that, but yeah, I mean, it's one of the tools that I have, that I'll never forget. And it's sometimes it's I have to, like, remind, like my mom did the whole thing with me, and sometimes it's in conversation, it's like sometimes I have to remind her that, oh, you need to maybe just do this because
Yeah.
that's what she taught us, and maybe that will help and stuff like that, and then she reminds me and whatever it is. So it's like, yeah, it's just always there, it's there. And the nice thing about it is, like, that's also one thing that I'm so I feel so grateful and lucky that I've found him as well, early in my life,
Right.
because funny enough, there's like this mantra that he he taught us. And it's like, if you play, it's a musical mantra, and you play it in your house, or you play it in your, wherever you are, in your workspace or whatever it is, it just brings about those positive vibrations within your environment. And when my son was a baby, I played that music in his crib or in his
Right.
room. Since he was a baby, I've been playing that. And you will not believe, like, till now, these days, where he will say he wants me to play that mantra, and he'll fall asleep with that mantra. So,
That's
it's
amazing.
it's amazing how he may not know what that mantra means or anything, but according to the my guru, he says, like, you don't need to know what it means, but if it's playing in the background, it's already doing what it needs to do. The mantra is doing its
Yeah.
magic. It's transforming the energy in the room or the
Yeah.
space.
You probably, if
And
your son felt that calmness, and just growing up, he introduced that into his life, and he knows
right.
that calms him down.
Right. And I made it a point to show him, because there's actually a meditation where, for kids, that there's an app that we follow now with for my guru. And he yeah, so he's created, like, meditations for kids to follow, for their mental health and for
You're right.
their focus and clarity and stuff. And I did one meditation with him. And it's so important to explain to your kids these things, because we were not explained all these things,
No.
when we were young. And because I had that knowledge, I explained to him what the meditation is. I explained to him who my guru is. And when he sees his picture, he knows now that that's my guru,
Okay.
um and so yeah, I was surprised because you know when I showed him the meditation, because it was easy. It's just a picture, and it's like, when you close your eyes, you have to, like, picture it
Picture him.
with
Yeah.
your eyes closed, kind of thing. And I don't know if he got it or not, but I mean, because I can't be in his mind, and I don't know if he's seen the picture, and although he says it, but it's training their mind from a young age, to learn these things, so they are able to then,
Navigate. Yeah.
utilize these tools and navigate their life to however to create that peace and calmness in their
Yeah.
life.
I think
Yeah.
kids are very intuitive. They see a lot of things and feel a lot of things that adults
Oh yeah.
don't. Um,
Exactly. Yeah. That's right.
Before we continue with today's episode, if you're enjoying it, if I could ask you for a small favor, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It will not only help the channel grow, but it will also allow me to bring you a lot more guests and a lot more experiences. Thank you. Back to the show. And going back to, like, you said, when we wish we did this in school. I feel the same. Like, I wish we had, like,
Exactly.
even just between breaks, even just like a 5 or 10 minute allocation, just to go and
Oh yeah.
center yourself before you get to the next class.
Next class. Exactly.
It
Yeah.
does.
It's so amazing that I know there are some schools in certain countries teaching meditation. Um, I think it's in Norway or something. I'm not too sure, but
Probably, yeah.
I just, like, I just wish children, they should do that in schools, for children, because I see it with my son, especially, like, kids in their class. And I mean, kids are kids. They're gonna be noisy. They're gonna be
No,
loud.
for sure.
They're gonna be fidgety and whatever it
Yeah.
is. But I guess there's that little bit, planting. I call it planting the seed, where they don't have to do it, but you can just tell them about it.
Yes.
Whether they learn from it or not, it's a different story. But at least teaching them about it and telling them, hey, if you want to calm yourself, or if you need to take a break or whatever, you can just take a few deep breaths or whatever it is.
Yes.
And I've taught my son that, take
Good.
3 deep breaths just to calm yourself when you feel angry or mad or whatever it is.
Anxious. Yeah.
And if teachers could just teach that to the kids, I mean, it's also the parents' duty to teach that. But if they teach it in the schools, kids would realize that, okay, it's normal. It's something that everybody's learning,
Yeah.
not
It's a
just,
life lesson. Yeah.
yes, it's not just them learning it at home, or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, I always try and teach my son whatever, as much as I can, to his age level as well, and to what
Yeah.
he to his
Yeah.
capacity, what he can handle. So
I think also
yeah,
you don't want to inundate him with so much, too quickly,
Exactly.
because he's already absorbing, so much of information already,
Right.
especially in
Yeah.
the digital age that we live.
Yes. And with meditations, for kids, you have to, it's not like the meditation that we would sit and do. It's like it needs to be fun for them.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's so many, there's a book that I have on, for kids meditations. And, it just, there's so many you can choose from. And it depends on what you really want your son to, or child to do in that moment, like a sleep meditation or just something fun, or a breathwork meditation, or a mindfulness meditation, things like that. And it's just about incorporating fun things, like hot chocolate, like breathing in, the scent
Yeah,
of the hot
yeah.
chocolate and then blowing it out to get it cool or whatever. So yeah, things like that. He at least they know then, the basic, and as they grow, it's obviously
You learn,
it will
yeah.
get deeper and more
Into,
interesting for them.
yeah.
So
But I
yeah.
think also for life, I mean, it's excellent for life challenges, because sometimes, I mean, only in my latter years did I learn about just breath work, because I struggle
Okay.
with anxiety and anxiousness. And if I
Right.
known, like, okay, this is a practice you can do just to calm the entire central nervous system down before you
Yes.
before you act upon whatever you need to do, it would have
Yeah.
been, it would help me in sport. Sport does help you to breathe, but
Yeah.
it's just being mindfulness of,
Right.
like, mindful aware of it, that
Yeah.
okay, this is what I need to practice. I'm in this position right now, and this is a tool I have to navigate. But I think, like you said, like, you teach, like, the teachers can do so much, but it's also like the parents' responsibility to impart that knowledge onto their kids as well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And, like we said, like I said, it's, for them, like, like you said, you have anxiety. And I mean, I also get that sometimes, and it's important to know, to have those tools, um, for you to be able to cope, so the minute you have, and it's also about being aware, um, of when you tend to have
Yes,
anxiety, like, is it
awareness. Yeah,
right time, like say, like maybe something's triggering you and getting the anxiety. So it helps to know when also to use those tools. And but yeah, it's I think it's gearing towards that way, where um, schools would, I think, eventually be able to teach all
yeah, it'd be a
this.
benefit, be a massive
Yeah,
benefit.
definitely, definitely,
And I
yeah.
think a lot of, not just the like, not other kids, I think the teachers also need it.
Oh yeah. Yes, a lot of teachers need it though. Yeah, but
So, and within your practice, I mean, also, like, I know you grew up in South Africa, the dynamics of a fast-paced life, and are
mhm.
you seeing it in America? Like, for me, coming to Canada, we actually had to slow down, because
Okay,
life,
right.
yeah, life here is not as fast-paced as we were used to. You wake up at a
Uh-huh.
certain time, you go to work, you come back, you got certain things to do. Whereas over here, it's more like, okay, take your time. Work day starts a bit later. Make
Hmm.
sure that you spend time with your family, even if there's like vacation days, take it. If there's
Right.
long weekends, make sure you spend time with your family. So we had to unlearn, like, a lot of
Oh
the
yeah.
like the rat race, and just
Hmm.
be and live, um, which is a challenge in itself. you know.
Yes. Yeah.
And what I wanted to ask you is, um, coming from South Africa, and then also learning to get get clients on on the other side of the world. How challenging was it, to actually, you know put yourself out there, and also build your clientele?
Yeah. So I must say though, so coming here, um, the where I live, it's further north of California, so it's a bit slow paced here
Okay.
in this town where I live. Uh, and so yeah, that for me that was also like a big change, because like like you say, coming from South Africa, it's like this fast paced life, living in the city and stuff like that. And over here, it's slow paced, where like we don't really get traffic over here, unless it's really going down to the main highway. But it's yeah, you don't have to worry about traffic over here. And it's that was a bit of a change for me, because I was so used to the fast paced life. But I actually enjoy the slow paced life over here, because it's it slows you down. You have the
Oh,
time to to do things you couldn't do, for yourself before. And also, um, work wise, business wise, it's just you have the time to reflect and slow down. It's
Right.
literally teaching your mind to basically slow down.
Yeah.
Um, and to be honest, initially when I came, I think it must have been like 2 or 3 years after I came, is when I really started my coaching practice. So I went full on online. I did not see any physical contact with clients. Um, and it was challenging. It still kind of is sometimes challenging in the beginning because where I am, it's a lot of more older people that live here, and it's a lot of people that, I would say a lot of people that don't want to better their lives.
Okay, they're
In
comfortable
certain
where they are.
places, yeah, there's certain places where, so like in Los Angeles, for example, we have a home down there too, and we go there often. So down there, it's completely different to where I am here, and there you can see it's like South Africa. It's like the fast-paced life. It's a big, big city life. Things are happening there, and people there are there. You can see they want to make that change. There are people
Yeah,
there
yeah,
that
they're a
want
bit
to
more
make the
open to the
yes,
practice.
they're more
Yeah, yeah,
open. They want to better their lives, and so it's much easier over there. But like I said, over here it was just a bit challenging to see clients um, one on one, and physically.
yeah,
And that's also what made me, go online, basically. And I think now, though, a lot of people, you know, over here have tried a lot of these, healing
yeah,
modalities
yeah,
and
yeah,
are learning to be more open with it, or about it, and trying them out. Um, and although I actually think over here in this town itself, there's not people don't really expose themselves like how in bigger cities they would market themselves,
yeah,
like every second place would have their details on it, or every person would know about them, kind of thing. It's very different in that sense. When in South Africa, your friends, your family, everyone puts that word out for you.
yeah.
And
You have a network.
because there's no,
Yeah,
yeah, and over here, because everyone's isolated, it's difficult for that to actually happen. Um so yeah, definitely, I think online works better, in that sense. And like also with COVID, in between, it just messed up everything. I think
right.
in with that in that sense, with seeing people physically. A lot of businesses closed down as well, so it was just a bad time for businesses as well.
Right.
And yeah, because my son was born in 2018, so since then as well, I have I always said that I want to give my full time and attention to
Yeah.
to my son. So that was also one of the reasons why I stopped taking clients for a certain time. So, but now now he's much older, and I'm ready to move on and um, you know uh, start seeing more clients on a regular basis. So yeah, it's I don't think it would be that challenging right now, though. But with COVID being over and people are starting to see clients one on one,
Right.
so yeah, it definitely is challenging initially, and it takes time, I think, to get to know the people around you and
Right.
what works for them and what doesn't work for them. Um, and yeah, it is very different to how we were brought up into South Africa. Like
Right.
you just know your people around you,
Yeah.
Um,
But
so yeah.
do you feel like, even though it is a challenge, it's also like something that you're learning as you go along to
Oh
different
yes,
different cultures. You're learning different customs, and I think,
yes.
do you feel that?
Yeah, it's definitely a learning. For me, I always say everything every day is a learning experience, no matter how small it is. So yeah, it's and I'm very open to learning about different cultures, different how different people live, how what's the reason behind
A
their
challenge or something.
their challenge or the reason why they do certain things. And I've always been curious in that sense. And my son goes to a Christian school. It's a private school and it's a Christian school. And we chose to send him to the Christian school because there is no Indian community here, or Indian, school like Gujarati school, like how we went.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah,
have that here.
right.
Um, and so, we just thought that sending him to this Christian school, because it's a faith-based school, regardless of religion, I mean, he's still going to be disciplined in that sense of growing up learning that there is, a higher power out there, or like God out there, whether it's Jesus or Krishna,
Whatever it is, yeah.
whatever it is, and we open to it. I mean, my husband went to the same Christian school that he's going to right now, and he's still very much, you know not to say that he's not cultural, but he's very much still follows our Indian culture, and he um, um, it's not to say that he's different, because many people that we've told that, oh my, our son goes to a Christian school, they were like shocked, like, oh, is he going to become Christian now? And I'm like, no, he's not going to become Christian, but it's just the values that he'll be learning there
Exactly,
is
exactly.
important.
Yeah,
It's because, like I said, we learned those values in our Gujarati school,
for
like
sure.
what our prayers and our why we pray and certain things like that. So
I mean, we grew up in a basically not not only not only brown community, but we did grow up with other ethnicities as well.
oh yeah,
So
definitely,
it's the same thing, right?
it's the same thing, right? Yeah.
It's nothing
So
different. It's just
no,
because it was classified as, oh, in Indian school,
yes,
people's perceptions were, oh, they would learn their cultures and whatever, but it
right.
doesn't matter. We went to school, our primary schools, high schools, we were all with different ethnicities, culture, with Christianity, with
Oh yeah.
Tamil, Hinduism, whatever it was.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
we were already exposed to that
To all of that.
culture,
Yeah.
but the
Right.
values that we learned were important.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we sent him there. And uh yeah, it's it's we he actually, we sent him to because there's no Gujarati school. There was a online school in Los Angeles that was teaching, and we did it for like one, whatever it was, one season. And it was just a bit challenging because it was a Sunday morning at 8 a.m. And he's still like just waking up, and that's not something a child wants to do straight away early in the morning as soon as they wake up. So that was just one of the challenges. But yeah, and the reason we do have other schools that or online schools that we approached and are
Right.
thinking, sending him to. But yeah, it's at least basic values and basic discipline he'll be learning in that school. So yeah, it's like I love learning about different religions, how they do things, why they do things. I'm always curious about behavior, like why, and you know people do
Okay.
certain things. So yeah, um I mean, I've always wanted to go to a church also, and I've never been to, I mean, I've been to my son's
Sun's Post Church,
school
yeah.
church now, yeah. But it's just interesting, like like sometimes you see in the movies, or the bells ringing in the
Oh,
church.
it's amazing. It's like
It just
stunning.
looks so amazing, yeah. And I just wanted to one day go and just feel the energy there, because definitely there has to be some
Okay,
profound energy
I'm
field.
gonna I'm gonna give you um, a tip for if you ever go to Austria and Vienna.
Uh-huh.
So on my socials, I posted about this, St. Peter's Church, I think, and it's
Okay.
like it's really stunning. But regardless of the architecture, the peace, like the energies inside of it was so pure. Like my wife and I, the first time we went in, we felt it,
Yeah.
and the next day we went touring and whatever else, and we did. It was really a busy day, and we
Yeah.
just felt like we needed a place to just center ourselves again.
Right.
And we went into a church.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with that?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we just sat in there 5-10 minutes, centered ourselves, and then we went again. But it
Yeah.
was that pure energy that allowed us to
That
be
brought you, yes,
exactly. And that's
really
what it
brought,
is. People can go to a mandir, to a temple, to a synagogue, whatever, but it's the
yes,
intention what you go in with. You know,
exactly. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
all faith is welcomed. You have to like accept all kinds of
right.
faith, not just your own. Yeah, you practice your faith,
Your faith,
but
yes,
we also have to accept others have their practices as well.
right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's what, um, we're trying to teach my son as well now. So yeah, I think it's important to be open to to other religions and other faiths and
Right.
practices as well. Yeah.
And within your practice, like I know it's predominantly targeted towards women.
Mhm.
Uh, do you have male clients as well, or is it specifically women?
So initially I did have male clients, and that was back in South Africa. And then when I was here as well, I did have one male client. But since then, I have not had male clients. I mean, it's not to say that I will not take on male clients. I mean, helping someone is helping someone. You're not going to reject it.
Right.
But I prefer working predominantly with women, mainly because I grew up, and I'm sure you can relate as well. We grew up like seeing our mothers or our aunts for that matter always you know serving others, always
Mhm.
pleasing others, always going out of their way to do things for others but themselves, never doing things for themselves or for their own happiness,
Right.
and it's almost as if they just were always just that was their life. It's just like
Yeah.
you know being in the house. If they had no career, it was just being in the house and doing things for the family or for the kids or whatever it is. But women are very also emotional,
Mhm.
so being in that environment where they can't let out the emotions or release the emotions, um, or talk about the emotions,
Right. Right.
openly, um, kind of shuts them off and builds like a wall where that's not like where they that's just for them to know and for them to deal with, or maybe not even deal with it. They just brush it off and forget about it, um, which obviously creates a lot of problems later on. It creates
Right.
burnout and it creates anger within you and frustration and stuff like that. So yeah, I just grew up seeing, I still see it till today though, but a lot of women and mothers especially, going through this way, they just feel so burnt out,
Right.
and they don't have the time to work on themselves or to do something for themselves, for their own happiness or for their own enjoyment or health or whatever it is. It's always putting others first before them.
Yeah.
And not to say that you shouldn't put others first, but there needs to
There's a
be
limit. Yeah. There's a
there
limit.
needs to be a balance and limit. So yeah, for that reason, yeah, I just feel like women need more um,
But more
space
support. But more
and more
support.
support for that
Right.
emotional release to happen. And me being a mother right now, I can see how it affects them, or how all these years. Like, I mean, my mom, she herself tells me, she's like, whatever it is I want to do in life, I should go and do it, and not be like her or like the
Mhm.
other mothers out there or like the other, from their generation,
Yeah. Generation. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because they never had those opportunities, or they never had this knowledge that we have right now,
Yeah.
to better themselves, or to think that, oh, okay, now they didn't know about self-love. The self-love is
Yeah.
like a
Self
new
love
thing.
was giving.
Exactly. Self-love to them was not even self-love. It was just like giving to others is love, but yeah, she always encourages me to do what I need to do for myself. But you obviously have to acknowledge those that, with living with you, your the rest of your family. But because they never had that time and that opportunity and the knowledge to do all that. So
Yeah.
and she wishes they did. They I mean, whatever they did is what their parents taught them, and they didn't know any better. And it's not to say it's their fault, because
Exactly.
that's what they
Yeah.
knew at the time. Um, so so yeah, I mean, knowing what I know is it's I always try and practice it in my daily life, and
To
uh,
impart that, yeah, to impart that
make it
knowledge onto.
my life, make it a way of life, you know.
Right,
So a lot of people think that it's something separate, but you know, if you just incorporate it into your daily life, then it becomes, you know, your part of your life. It becomes
right,
your um, like a way of life. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Like you said, like a lot of our generational mothers have so much of trauma also that they've never dealt with,
oh yes,
probably
right.
before, and they've never spoken about it. We don't know about it. I'm pretty sure my mom has gone through a lot of things. She has spoken about some things, but not all of it.
Yes.
But there's like you said, like you now you provide a space where the woman can come in and actually start begin to release those traumatic events and start to be accepting of them, and start to heal. I know
Right.
it's never too late to start to
Oh
heal.
no, never, never.
So I think what you're doing is an amazing job, and whoever's out in whoever watches this or listens to this podcast, whoever's out there in LA or even around the world, please reach out to Amisha, and then to get your healing journey going.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, it's important, and I think now a lot of people are becoming aware of. There's so many healing modalities out there, and what I've learned recently is, about somatic healing, and it's so interesting how all these things are like related to each other. And somatic healing is more dealing with the body.
Yeah, I was just
So
about to ask what is somatic
yeah,
healing.
yeah. So somatic healing is more dealing with the body. I don't know much about it. Like, I mean, I'm not a somatic practitioner or anything, but from what I've learned so far, it's dealing with the body. So um, listening to your body, in other words,
Right.
so if you're like in a moment of anxiety, or like in a moment of being triggered in whatever way it is, it's in that moment listening to your body, like how your body is actually feeling, you know, um, and how can you then, bring that body back to its balance. It's like, your nervous system as well. This
Yeah.
nervous, like, being in a fight to flight mode, and
Yeah.
how to bring that back into the parasympathetic um, state,
Right. Yeah.
state of rest, relaxation, and digestion. So yeah, it's more about that, and it's important because I think your body also plays an important role in uh, in your healing. It's not
Oh
just
yeah, yeah. The body listens.
your
Yeah.
emotions or your feelings. Your body also plays a really important role. So yeah, I think women, there's a lot more exposure out there now for a lot of these tools, and it's obviously doing what feels called to you, that what you feel um, works with you,
Yeah.
is more important. So yeah, a lot of women are looking towards all these different modalities to yeah, cope with their whatever it is they're
And
going through.
and I know, like, as a practitioner also yourself, you need someone.
Oh
You
yes.
also need. So, like, my next question for you was, or thought was, how when you take on these women's energies, how do you feel? Like, do you take yourself out of it, or do you feel something as well while practicing it?
So yeah, so like I said, prior to any healing session, it's important that we as practitioners ground ourselves,
Mhm.
center ourselves. um, Grounding is so important because then you don't take on your client's energy,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
So there's yeah, practice, there's tools that you can do, use, and practices that you can do beforehand, to ground and center yourself. And then, of course, definitely after the session, to ground yourself again and let go of those energies, because you don't want to carry those energies
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
to the day, or whatever it is. And for me, though, I'm like, I would say most Reiki practitioners are very feeling type. I'm very, like, if someone's clients with me, or anybody for that matter, I'm very attuned to the feeling aspect of them. I'm very
Yeah.
empathic. So I would immediately just know what that person's feeling, if they're
Right.
scared or sad or whatever it is, and um, so with me, it's happened a few times in sessions where I actually cry myself, or I
Okay.
actually have this overwhelming feeling of actually crying, or just like my heart, like, pulsating at
Yeah.
like a, higher speed and stuff like that. And that's just me feeling the energy, because the energy is it's like being so strong,
Yeah.
but also making sure at the end that at the end of that session that you ground yourself and let go of those energies, so you don't take that on with you. So it's very important to do
Yeah.
that. And I myself, as a Reiki practitioner, it's important for us to have Reiki on ourselves as well. It's
Yeah.
important for us to get that cleansing done as well, on a regular basis. So um, yeah, I do that at least once a month,
Okay.
because also for you, although Reiki, how it works, and the whole thing about it, but when someone else does it for you, they may see things you may not see about yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
you
Because I
know
mean,
so
you're going through life, and you're going through your own challenges, and
exactly,
you also need that outlet. Not just,
exactly,
you can't just like be always like giving
doing
yourself
it yourself,
away. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So they better able to see things, or have a different perspective of how they see things, or view things. And it's nice to know what other people, or what your practitioner is finding, in you as well, so yeah, it's important to regularly do, as a practitioner, to regularly do Reiki on myself, and do those grounding and centering techniques to keep, yeah, to not take on those energies. And thankfully, initially when I did start doing the Reiki, when you don't do that, you actually feel very drained
Hmm.
and very tired. And I was feeling that initially. I used to feel very tired and very drained, and didn't understand why initially. And afterwards, I realized that, it could be this Reiki that I'm doing, because it's always when I'm doing Reiki, I feel like,
Yeah.
and that's when I realized that, okay, I really need to step up my game now. I need to really do it before, after. Sometimes you can even do it during. It just depends on, if you can,
Yeah.
handle
Yeah.
that. But during your session, your energy is mainly focused on your client. So it's also important to keep your environment centered, grounded, um, and very relaxed for the client, so the energy can flow, um, you know
Yeah.
easily. So yeah, those grounding is very, very important, definitely. Yeah.
And how do you like? Are you able to like find balance between like? Were you able to find balance between home life and your practice, or was that also like a challenge in the beginning, but you managed to bring that back?
um it never was really a challenge for me until I got married and had a kid.
Okay.
So, because when you because now you have to look after a little, another version of yourself, basically.
Yeah.
um it's very time consuming, to you have a lot more going on when you have a kid to handle. Then I have, being married also, it's different responsibilities.
Yeah.
You have to see to the housework and the cooking and the cleaning and all that. So in that sense, yes, it's very difficult to find that balance. I mean, still right now, I still sometimes struggle to find that balance. But um, a lot of times it's all about finding and making the time for yourself, because only when you find that balance within yourself can you find that balance elsewhere,
Yeah.
or outside of you. Because if you're not balanced or aligned to your inner truth or your own energy, you're going to be all over the show.
All
You're
of a
going to
show.
be
Yeah.
overwhelmed, and you're not going to know what to do, and where to start. So
100%.
it's important. Yeah, I definitely have my days like that, though. But I know I have these tools to fall back on. Like, if I didn't do it today, I can. If I needed more structure the next day, I know, okay, let me work on this. I have this Two, I can just do a quick Reiki session on myself, or just, centering, or narrating to myself for that matter. I like narrating to myself, that in positive statements like
Yeah,
affirmations,
affirmations, right?
or guided meditations or something like that. Um, so yeah, those kind of things help balance, you know, the
Balance
day
you
to
out.
day, yeah, balance your
Do you
day to day.
do you
And
find like do you find like a lot of moms, especially now, new age moms, come to you and express the exact same thing?
oh yes, yes, yes. I feel like it's like, every mom's, outlet. It's like it's this is what they basically, scream for, is just that time and attention for themselves.
What about the
Because
dads? What about the dads? Do they? Because I know nowadays a lot of more dads are much more hands on. They're but more
yeah.
like aware of what's going on, not like our dads were, you
Oh
know.
no.
So do you find
But yeah,
that?
I mean, definitely, those hands-on dads definitely, uh, help with, making the women's role better, or a little bit less stressful. They both take on certain tasks, to help each other out, like, so
Yeah,
the work can get done, basically. It's not about competition, like who's doing this and who's doing that. It's about just working together and getting it done. But I think men just process differently than what women do. The emotions,
yeah,
like men were just taught, okay, don't cry.
yeah.
Crying is a sign of weakness, or you shouldn't be talking about your emotions or your feelings, because that's just showing you how weak you are.
Weak you are. Yeah, yeah.
But I think a lot of dads are also awakening to that that's not the case. That they are very much human as women are. And they also have feelings. And I just feel they don't, what's the word, maybe they don't stress about
Intuitively
it
understand.
much.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't stress about it too much, maybe. Or take them, because women like tend to they want to have it all together. They want to have it all, or, like, be perfect. Like, I need to do this, and I need to, whatever it is. They
Do
want
you
to.
feel that way?
I do, yes. I
Okay.
always feel that way. It's like I want to do everything. I want to be everything to everyone in the family. It's like, because you're the mother, you're the wife, you're the daughter-in-law, you're the daughter, you're the friend, you're the whatever.
Yeah.
Employee, entrepreneur, whatever. And I think women have this, thing where they're juggling all these roles, and they just want to be everything to everyone. Where, um, it's just like, where it's just like taking a step back and thinking, okay, I can't be everything to
Yeah. It's not
everyone
possible.
in this moment. I can't be everything to everyone.
Exactly.
So what is it, like, if it's something to do with your child, like, in this moment my child needs this, so I'm going to be focusing on that. But it's very difficult to stay focused sometimes as well, because I see that with myself. Like, while I'm doing something with my son, if he's got a spelling test that he needs to learn or whatever, and I'm thinking about the food that I'm going to make for dinner, and or what we're going to eat tomorrow,
Tomorrow,
it's
yeah.
stuff like that. But I think creating mindfulness, meditation, is so important, because, mindfulness teaches you to be in the present moment. And I think that's what women definitely need a lot of, is being in the present moment.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, cultivating that in your everyday life is so important, because, even if it's not just mind, it's just taking a deep breath.
Mhm.
Few deep breaths, and just calming yourself. Like putting your hand on your heart, and like taking few deep breaths, and just letting it go, like whatever your feelings are, your overwhelm, your worries, your thoughts, and just like being in that moment, because
Moment.
that's going
Yeah.
to help you be in that moment, and go about your day. And sometimes, it takes like maybe 51 breaths in a day to do that, like deep breath, like sitting in, but as you go along, it will become a part of your
Yeah.
daily life, so it will become much more easier. And if the women have the time, to do at least maybe 10 minutes in the morning, after they wake up, or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or however much time they have before bed, it's it's so important. So I usually, sometimes I find before bed is like the best time, for me, because I'm
Because you've
not
got
really
most of your
morning.
tasks done. You've got most of your
Yes, and I'm not
checklist
really a
done. Or
morning. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not really a morning person either. So, um, yeah. So before bed is when I do, like, if I feel I need to do some Reiki for myself, I just do it. I listen to a quick meditation, or I just listen to like soothing, calming Reiki music on its own, just to get myself into that balance. And or if I need to just whatever I feel called for in that moment, I just feel it's also about, again, listening to yourself.
yeah,
Like, what do I need in this moment? Do
moment,
I need a deep breath? Do I need to just sit and do nothing? Do I need to journal? What is it? It's like really asking yourself what you need, and then doing that. Because it's only, I feel like when you really ask yourself those questions, you have the answers to your questions,
right?
right? So it's always like, ask yourself the question, and then just feel what your body's trying to tell you, or what your mind is telling, your emotions are telling you. And you can figure out something. Then you decide on that note what you plan to do, or what you want to do, or how you can help yourself better. Journaling really really helps. Writing, I always say, writing really helps.
Hmm.
For releasing emotions like anger, fear, guilt, grief, whatever it is. I always say, writing it down, writing whatever it is you're feeling on the paper, and then burning the paper
Burning
out.
it, yeah. It's a
Or you
practice
can,
that, yeah, it's a
yeah,
practice that I have incorporated because I'm not
yes,
very vocal about how I feel.
yeah,
So for me, journaling and then just expressing how I feel, at least I know I'm taking it out of my
yes,
center and
system,
then just
yes,
putting it somewhere external, and then even if it's not burned, it's fine. I know it's out of my system.
exactly, yes. And once you that burning sensation, once it's done, you actually feel so free and
Hmm.
light. So I always say, it's something I do myself. And if you're not able to burn it, you can always just tear it up and throw it away. But it's always the intention as well
Release,
behind
yeah,
what you're doing. So when you're tearing it up or burning it up, it's like really just closing your eyes, or just thinking about that intention, that I'm letting go of these emotions that are holding me back, or whatever it is that you've
right.
written down. So those little practices make such a big difference. And a lot of times, people think that you need, 1 whole hour just to do some spiritual practices to feel good. But you don't. Some people don't have the full 1 hour, but you may just incorporate it throughout your day, like 5 minutes before lunch, or 5 minutes before bed, or while you're driving to work as well, or
Yeah,
or whatever it is, or in the shower.
yeah,
Shower is a good time to just listen to like a podcast also, or
something. Yeah,
music or something.
like
So yeah.
for me, my spiritual release is exercise or being active.
Oh
You
yes,
know, so
definitely.
I think a lot of people also, it's not just the, the meditation and spirituality that people like attract like can use as spirituality. I think, like you said, it's one aspect of it. Some people have different ways of expressing and calming themselves down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exercise is really really good. It lets your emotions out, and
Yeah,
um,
gives you,
you
releases
know
that dopamine, that
it
feel good
releases,
factor.
yes, it releases the dopamine. And it also, I think any form like yoga for that matter as well, or Pilates or whatever, I mean, even walking,
Hmm.
running, stuff like that. And we've just started walking, my husband and I as well, every day, for health reasons as well. And
Yeah,
so yeah, just walking also, just and while walking as well, you can listen to a meditation, or obviously not a relaxing meditation, but a podcast, or a piece of music, or something inspirational, that you won't have the time otherwise to listen to.
or even just
um,
nature.
or even just nature, exactly, the sounds, and the just admiring the
Yeah,
beauty of nature. We forget that, sometimes even while walking, you forget that, okay, you can look around and
yeah,
enjoy the environment. But luckily for me, like around here, we're surrounded by the redwood trees, and so it's just always amazing. We There's a park that my son loves to go play at, and they actually have like a trail for walking, and this you're surrounded by the it's like a forest. It's like you
Yeah,
in
like
the
nature. Yeah,
trees,
yeah.
you know, nature. Yeah, and you in the redwood trees, and down there's like a duck pond, and it's just amazing to just sit
Be.
there. I would just
Yeah.
love to sit in between all those trees, and trees are also very grounding. So it's really good to be around trees. They are very grounding for you, um,
I mean, they provide us life. You know what I'm saying?
yes, and provide oxygen. So yeah, it's nature is a great healer as well, definitely. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah.
No, amazing. Thank you for sharing your journey and your insights. I think a lot of people are gonna be, very attracted to what you have to offer. And I always ask my guests this at the end of the podcast, like,
Mhm.
what's next for you? Like, where do you, within the short term, what's the plans? Where do you see yourself, you know, in life and just anywhere?
So I have not really thought that far though. I don't like thinking very far off, but yeah, I like to take life as it unfolds. But for the most part, yes, I definitely uh, would love to start up with my workshops. Whether it's in person or online. Uh, that's just going to depend on the clients, but yeah, definitely move ahead with my workshops because that's something I have not been able to do since I've been here. And in a workshop setting, it's very different because with all the people that are in the workshop or in the people in the group, they they bring about such a dynamic energy
Right.
that it's funny how like the people in the group, if they have to work with each other, they find out things about each other that are so related to their own lives, and it's so amazing how there's a lot of aha moments that happen in group coaching or group workshops and stuff like that. And people also feel like they're not alone in group coaching. There's always someone out there
Yeah,
that
exactly.
has the same kind of problem or issues that you have, or if not better or if not worse, but it's group settings are always fun, I think, and challenging also, but yeah, you learn a lot. You learn different perspectives from different people, and um, how to navigate through the eyes of different people. And yeah, I just like to get my coaching going, and yeah, I mean, obviously keep teaching my son things as he grows.
Grows up. Yeah.
It's also this thing about we're talking about how men, with their feelings and how they're not expressing, and how they were brought up not to express themselves. And it's like with my son, I always tell him that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to feel angry, it's okay to feel sad or mad or whatever, but it's never okay to behave in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like if you're angry, you don't throw things or
Don't
whatever.
lash out. Yeah.
You can be angry, but there's different ways of coping, or dealing with your anger. So it's always a behavior that comes with emotions.
Yeah.
So um so yeah, continuing to teach my son, whatever I know and whatever I learned. And yeah, just looking forward to being, serving others, serving lots more clients. I also one day always hope to have my own podcast. So hopefully I'll need
You're on
some
your
tips.
way.
I'll
You're on
need
your
some
way.
tips. Yeah. I'll need some tips from you for that.
No
But yeah,
problem.
it's
Anytime.
yeah, it's
Just start. That's my advice to you. Just start.
I know. It's definitely, it's also, I always had this urge to write a book one day. That's still in my cards. It's just not um,
Priority.
priority right now. Yes. And I just feel like, when the time is right, it will happen, because,
Hmm.
writing a book it doesn't just happen also
No, no, for sure.
overnight. It takes a year or two to really get it going and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely in the future, a podcast and my book. But for now, I'm just continuing with my clients and workshops. And I do offer it's a 6-week group coaching study
Oh,
course. So yeah, if anyone's
that's
interested.
on your website as well.
I currently don't have a website, but yes, they can on Instagram and my email contact me. And yeah, definitely, yeah, looking forward to working with all my clients, future clients.
Amazing.
Yeah, and of
No,
course,
it's
if you
been such a
need
fun chat.
any, if you
Yeah.
need any sessions as well, I'm welcome. I'm open
No,
to
thank you. I appreciate that.
offering it to you as well. Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, you're doing amazing work, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank
And
you so much.
let's connect again sometime in the future.
Oh yes,
Come visit
definitely.
us in Toronto.
Yeah, we will. When I'm down there, I'll definitely give you a call.
I actually have a friend in LA also. I need to come and see. So maybe
Oh yeah,
one day, yeah,
you
we'll
can. Yeah, we can meet up then.
for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
definitely.
Which part of LA do you know?
I think he's in LA, like
Oh, okay, right. Okay,
downtown
okay.
LA. Yeah, I think, but maybe a few minutes out. But yeah, he's also
Okay.
from he's from Lens as well. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, LA is so huge. It's like, it's really huge. But yeah, definitely we can always make a plan to
amazing.
meet. Yeah.
Oh, but thank you for your time today. I really
No,
appreciate it.
thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it's a great podcast that you have. And yeah, keep it up.
Thank you.
Look forward to all the other interviews you're going to be having.
Yes,
So yeah, thank
amazing.
you so much for having me.
You're welcome anytime. Until the next one, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.